let's move that one out of the way. That could probably help. Right, so what I'm doing today is I am bottling the Braggot. It has taken a very long time for it to get to this stage because I've just been busy with other stuff, man. It just gets like that sometimes. Please don't fall over. I don't think I could deal with it falling over. We're going to get it bottled, doing it live so I don't have to edit it. And so if I screw up, you can all laugh at me. Right, so first things first is we're going to transfer it into the Juggernaut, which is the new name for this jug. Don't know what that was in there. Didn't look too good. Probably a flipping dog hair or something. Right, so straight in. And it cleared out pretty well, to be honest. So if you're not sure what a braggot is it can be two things. It can either be a mead version or a beer version, but each one's got fermented honey in. So the mead version is predominantly honey with a little bit of beer wort in there, and the beer version is predominantly beer or wort with a little bit of fermented honey in there as well. And that's what we're doing. We're just transferring it now into this, and then we transfer it from there into the bottles. It'll get labeled up, and that's pretty much it. There's a couple of other things here. I've got 2 vessels with a cranberry cider in. I've got a hopped cider there. I've got a chili mead there. I've got another peculiar kind of mead there. It's got, what's it got in it now? Peaches, coconut, lychee or lychee. That might be another way of pronouncing it. And it's got, did I say coconut? Maybe. Yeah, it's got loads of wacky things in. Lemongrass. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be pretty good, to be honest. But only time will tell. There's no way of actually telling whether it's going to be good until we're actually at that point. Now, why is this bringing loads of bubbles through? It does not normally do that. Let's pop in. How we doing, everybody? Why has it stopped? I demand you bring it all. Certainly don't want to waste it. Not making sense as to why. Trust it to do it on a live. Every time it's not live, it works flawlessly. Put it on a live. It's like, oh, I'm going to mess up just to piss you off. What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to pull it through using gravity. There we go. We're off again. No, it's not playing ball. And we are under the 4 litre mark. That is a pain in the ass. Right, well, I don't know why, but it really doesn't want to pull that last bit through. Very odd. Come on, pull it through like you're supposed to. Right, well, that's the lot then. As long as we've got 4 litres, I'm happy. But I seem to have pulled quite a bit of the lease through with that. What a pain in the backside that was. Very strange. Keep up the good work. Hi, hello, Stephen or Stefan. What are you making? I have made a braggot. So it's a mead that uses fermented honey and fermented beer wort. So I had some of the unfermented beer left over, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I just slapped together a braggot. I'm finally putting it into bottles. it's been a long time coming. I expect that some subscribers have wondered what's bloody happened to it. But that was a bit annoying that the bottle one wasn't working properly then. But we'll see if it's working again. Not the bottle one, sorry, the auto siphon. Now I'm dropping it everywhere. It's typical. You go live and you make a right sodding pig's ear of it. Anyway, let's have a taste. This is currently at 9.2%, so it didn't actually go that strong, which means you get left behind loads of malty flavors and sugars. Yeah, it's malty. It's not bad. It's not got that much sweetness, which is a bit strange. It should have a bit more sweetness than that, but it is what it is. That's what we've got, so we're going to bottle it. Let me just move that out of the way and destroy my new thermometer, which I haven't even used yet. That wouldn't be the best idea now, would it? Let's get that out of my way. We don't need to take a hydrometer reading because we already know what the gravity is and what the ABV is. And then we're going to put it down like so. And what that should do is it should pull it using gravity to then fill up this bottle. And that's how we do it. What's up, Jost? Not now.
When should I do it?
Should have done it ages ago. Right, well, not now.
Should I just do it tomorrow?
Sounds like it, doesn't it? So we're going to have about 4 litres of this with a bit of luck. Do you ever use a refractometer? No, I don't. I only use the hydrometer. I don't understand how the refractometer works. I've seen people use it because it intrigued me once. But no, I personally have never used one. Could you try and explain it as simply as possible? And I'll read out your comment for other people so that while we're talking about it, they'll know possibly what a refractometer is. Refractometer? Is it refractometer? Refractometer, yeah. Or refractometer, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But yeah, it did finish a little bit lower than I was expecting it, 9.2. Normally, we get around the 14% mark. But maybe I put in less. It's been so long, to be honest, right? It's been sat there waiting to be bottled that I kind of forgot the recipe, what went in it, which book I wrote it in. I need to start a new book and start writing all of the new recipes in there because I'm a sod for writing it in different books, and then I wander around and I can't flip and find the book, so I just start another one. And then before you know it, I've got like 8 different recipe books and no idea which bloody beverages are in which. So I also make cider, beer, obviously. I've actually got to label one of these up as well. I've got like 22 bottles of a Citra Pale Ale. It's a smash. So it's a single malt and single hops. Which I'm not sure whether it's carbonated, actually. There's another one that I did do, which is carbonated. It just measures bent angle of light, more sugars, more bendy, gives you a simple percent of sugar reading. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I suppose is it more accurate than a hydrometer, or is it just going to be about the same? You know, if you put one next to the other, does the reading come out pretty much the same? See, I've got a digital hydrometer called a Tilt from a company in California. And that sometimes is ever so slightly off this. But I always think to myself, surely they've calibrated it on an analog, haven't they? To be able to get the calibration to be able to say that it is this and it is that. Not even got a clue what you're saying, dude. But because you're spamming, you can get gone, mate. Bye. Oops. Now I'm trying to take out a bottle of homebrew with me. Yeah, that dude got removed. What a penis. Oh, it's worse than them flipping 6'7" people who come in and just start saying 6'7". I'm like, mate, go get a life. Yeah, so we're probably not going to get this in a full bottle for this. Actually, so I am actually going to stop right there. We might actually. There's a possibility. We're going to try it. We may very well get a full bottle. And then that's going to be it. Once these are capped off, they're going to sit in the place where I store all my mead and beer and stuff. It's going to sit in there for around, to be quite fair, this doesn't actually need to sit anywhere for any length of time because it's been sat in the vessel for so long. It's ready. You know, it is ready to drink, but I'll probably give it a week in a chilled environment just for it to sort its business out. And then we'll probably just go from there. Glub, 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 glub. And then I'm going to tip that last tiny bit in there. Like so. So if you want to check out any of the recipes that I use and I make myself, be sure to check out the channel. I share all of my recipes for free. Some of them are great. Some of the earlier ones, not so great. The ones that happen these days, pretty much on par with what you'd buy from a meadery. Okay, I don't use the fine ingredients. I use really, really cheap honey to ferment. And if I'm doing something that doesn't have a particular flavor for itself, I will end up using like some really smart posh honey, something like this, which is Spanish forest honey. It's absolutely fantastic, but I'd only use them in a traditional mead where you're going to actually taste the notes. Because if you put loads of expensive honey in, all it's going to do is get fermented, and you're not actually going to be able to taste the flavor of it all that much. Some people say you can. I don't think you can. But yeah, it's down to beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I am beholding this wonderful elixir. So yeah, thanks for joining me, guys, and bit of a random one. But yeah, go check out all the recipes. There's absolutely tons of them, and you yourself could learn how to brew your own beverages for absolute pennies. So a traditional mead, which isn't like this, I can do 4 litres for about 12 quid. In the UK, that will cost you, for 1 litre bottle, no, you'd probably get a 750ml bottle for around 6 quid. No, 30 quid, sorry. I can brew them dirt cheap. I could do a litre for like £2.50 or just over like £2.50, maybe £3.15 or something stupid like that. And you know what? It's perfectly drinkable. It's great to pass around to people. You know, gift it to your friends for Christmas. I mean, you're probably a little bit late now to get one on ready for Christmas. Yeah, it depends. If you was to follow my normal way of doing things, is once you've started the fermentation, you wait 2 weeks for it to complete. Then you put it into secondary with whatever sugars that you want to add to it, with something called fermentation stoppers, which stops that sugar then being fermented. If you did do that, then you know, because sometimes it takes as long as it takes. Yeast, it doesn't have instructions in the when it gets put into the wort or the must, the wine or whatever it is you're doing. The yeast doesn't know what it's supposed to do. It just does what it does naturally. It doesn't have a set of instructions, so it just does what it wants. Sometimes you are a slave to the yeast. It's like it could just be going flat out and ferment it all really, really quickly, or it could take forever for it to actually ferment, and you won't end up getting anything for maybe 3 weeks. But yeah, next bottling is going to be my cranberry cider, which was really, really nice. All the apples were pressed by me, chopped up and pressed. It took forever. It took so long, but at the same time, it was worth it. Hello, Joshua. It was really, really good. I got like probably about 4 gallons of cider out of it for 20 kilograms of apples. It was a lot of work, but I think it was worth it. Most definitely. I mean, brewing your own beverages, it's fun, but you've got to start from the bottom. You can't just get good at it straight away. Your first couple of ones might not taste that good, but if you persist, I guarantee you'll be making beverages that you'll be making beers from some of my recipes, and even meads from some of my recipes that they'd serve in meaderies and things like that. Now, I am just an amateur. No, it's not a profession or anything like that. I just literally do it for fun, and I think I do it pretty well. Now, Fermented World channel's been live for about 4 years now, I think. And we've been slowly progressing, and all of my recipes are shared for free. All you got to do is go check it out, have a look at some of the recipes. If any of them appeal to you, then come join the bandwagon, join the Fermented World army. One day we'll take the homebrew world by storm, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a great hobby. It's really easy. You don't need to know anything about the science of it. It's all learnable within the first couple of brews. You'll learn where you went wrong, and it's as simple as that, really. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to kick rocks. Thank you very much for joining me today. Go brew your own beers, go brew your own mead, go brew your own cider, go brew your own wine. It's so simple. People might make you think that it's difficult, but it's not. You lob stuff in a bucket, you add yeast, the yeast does its thing, and you have a beverage. It's as simple as that. There is a bit more to it in between the gaps, but you pick all that up as you go along. The worst thing you could do is not start, I'd say. So here's a story for you as to how I got started with homebrew. Many years ago, my mother bought me a homebrewing kit. It was one of these tins with the liquid malt extract in. So it's like a beer wort, and all you had to do was add hot water. Now I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off. And then eventually, pardon me, the pandemic hit, COVID. And all of a sudden, I had nothing to do because I didn't really have a great deal of hobbies that I could do in the house. So like mountain biking was one of my hobbies back then, and we weren't allowed to go anywhere. So I was like, right, well, you know what? I'm going to brew that bloody kit. Now, when I got to brewing it, it was about a year and a half out of date, but I brewed it anyway. And you know what? When I sat in my back garden, when I cracked that beer, when it was ready and the bubbles came up and I poured it into the glass, okay, it wasn't the most remarkable beer in the world, but I made it. I made it myself. So, yeah, love yeast. Yep, yeast is your friend, or it can be your friend. Now, if you've got a yeast infection, that yeast is not your friend. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get gone. Thank you very much. Take it easy, and I'll see you all soon.